What if I told you that one company once sold more mobile phones than anyone else in history, only to lose everything in less than a decade? A company that dominated nearly every country on Earth? A brand trusted by billions? A name so powerful that people believed it could never fail? That company was Nokia, before the iPhone, before Android, before Samsung became the global smartphone leader. There was Nokia. Its phones were famous for incredible durability, long battery life, and unmatched reliability. Whether you lived in Europe, Asia, Africa, or the Americas, chances are you or someone you knew owned a Nokia phone. At its peak, Nokia controlled almost half of the global mobile phone market. It was one of the most valuable technology companies in the world, earning billions of dollars and shaping the future of mobile communication. But then, almost overnight, everything changed. The company that once defined the mobile phone industry suddenly found itself struggling to survive. Competitors overtook it, innovation slowed, and a series of critical decisions pushed Nokia from the top of the world to the edge of irrelevance. So, what really happened? How did the world's biggest mobile phone company collapse so quickly, and could Nokia have avoided its downfall? Today we're uncovering the complete story behind one of the greatest business rises and one of the most dramatic falls in technology history. Let's begin. Chapter 1. From Paper Mill to Technology Pioneer. Most people think Nokia has always been a phone company, but the truth is far more surprising. Nokia's story began in 1865, long before electricity reached most homes and nearly a century before the first mobile phone was invented. The company was founded by Finnish engineer Fredrik Idestam, who built a paper mill beside the Nokian Virta River in Finland. The business produced high-quality paper, which was exported across Europe. As the decades passed, Nokia transformed itself again and again. It expanded into rubber products, manufacturing boots, tires, and industrial equipment. Later, it entered the cable business, producing electrical wires and communication cables that supported Finland's growing infrastructure. By the 1960s, several businesses merged to create what became the modern Nokia Corporation. Instead of remaining focused on traditional manufacturing, Nokia invested heavily in electronics and telecommunications. It was a risky move. At the time, few people imagined that mobile communication would become one of the world's largest industries. Yet Nokia's leadership saw an opportunity long before most competitors. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, the company developed communication equipment for governments, military organizations, and businesses. These early projects helped Nokia build valuable expertise in wireless technology. While many companies were still focused on landline telephones, Nokia was preparing for a wireless future. That decision would eventually change everything. As Europe began building its new GSM mobile network in the late 1980s, Nokia positioned itself at the center of this technological revolution. Rather than trying to compete in dozens of industries, the company made one bold decision: it would focus on becoming the world's leading mobile phone manufacturer. It was one of the smartest strategic moves in business history. By the early 1990s, Nokia had sold off many of its older businesses to concentrate almost entirely on telecommunications. It was a gamble, but it would soon make Nokia the undisputed king of mobile phones. Chapter 2. The King of Mobile Phones. By the late 1990s, Nokia had become the biggest name in the mobile phone industry. As mobile phones became more affordable, millions of people bought their first device, and for many of them it was a Nokia. The company earned a reputation for building phones that were simple, reliable, and incredibly durable. Their batteries lasted for days, the software was easy to use, and the devices could survive everyday accidents better than most competitors. Then came legendary models like the Nokia 3210 and the Nokia 3310. These phones became global icons, known for their toughness and long-lasting performance. But Nokia's success wasn't just about great hardware. The company understood what customers wanted: dependable phones at different price points. Whether someone needed a basic phone or a premium model, Nokia had an option for them. By the early 2000s, Nokia had grown into the world's largest mobile phone manufacturer, holding nearly 40% of the global market. Millions of phones were sold every year, making Nokia one of the most valuable technology companies in the world. Everything seemed perfect. Customers trusted the brand, investors celebrated its success, and competitors struggled to keep up. But while Nokia was enjoying its dominance, the mobile industry was quietly changing. A new generation of devices was about to transform the way people use their phones, and Nokia wasn't fully prepared for what was coming next. Chapter 3. The Smartphone Revolution. The year was 2007, and Nokia was still the world's leading mobile phone company. Then everything changed. Apple introduced the first iPhone, a device that completely redefined what a mobile phone could be. It wasn't just a phone, it was a powerful touchscreen computer that fit in your pocket. Soon after, Google launched Android, allowing companies like Samsung and HTC to build smartphones for millions of people around the world. The mobile industry was changing faster than ever. Unfortunately, Nokia wasn't ready. The company continued relying on its old Symbian operating system, which had been designed for traditional phones rather than modern smartphones. Compared to iOS and Android, Symbian felt outdated, slower, and less user-friendly. As smartphone apps became more important, developers focused on Apple's App Store and the Android ecosystem. Nokia struggled to attract developers, leaving its phones with fewer apps and a weaker user experience. Meanwhile, Apple kept improving the iPhone, and Samsung rapidly expanded its Android lineup. Every year, their devices became faster, smarter, and more popular. For the first time, Nokia was no longer leading the industry, it was trying to catch up. The company that had once shaped the future of mobile phones was now falling behind in the smartphone race. Chapter 4. The biggest mistakes that led to Nokia's fall. By 2010, Nokia's dominance was fading. Sales were declining, competitors were growing stronger, and the company faced increasing pressure to respond. One of Nokia's biggest mistakes was reacting too slowly. While Apple and Samsung were investing heavily in modern smartphones, Nokia continued relying on its outdated Symbian operating system. Instead of adapting quickly, the company spent valuable time trying to improve software that could no longer compete. At the same time, internal disagreements slowed decision-making. Different teams had different visions for the future, making it difficult for Nokia to move as fast as its competitors. In 2011, Nokia made a bold but risky decision. The company partnered with Microsoft and replaced Symbian with Windows Phone, hoping it could challenge Android and the iPhone. Although Nokia's Lumia phones were praised for their design and camera quality, they faced one major problem: the lack of popular apps. Most developers focused on iOS and Android, leaving Windows Phone far behind. As a result, many customers chose competing devices instead. With sales continuing to fall, Nokia could no longer recover. In 2013, the company sold its mobile phone division to Microsoft, marking the end of an era. Nokia's fall wasn't caused by poor products alone. It happened because the company failed to adapt quickly enough to a rapidly changing market. Chapter 5. Where is Nokia today? When Microsoft acquired Nokia's mobile phone business in 2013, many believed the legendary brand had reached its end. But Nokia didn't disappear. Instead of focusing on smartphones, the company shifted its attention to telecommunications technology. Today, Nokia is one of the world's leading providers of 4G and 5G network equipment, helping mobile operators in more than 100 countries build and maintain their communication networks. Meanwhile, the Nokia phone brand returned in 2016 through HMD Global, a Finnish company that began producing Android smartphones under the Nokia name. Although these phones received praise for their clean software and solid build quality, the smartphone market had become far more competitive. Apple, Samsung, and several Chinese brands already dominated the industry, making it difficult for Nokia to regain its former position. Today, Nokia is no longer the king of mobile phones, but it remains an important technology company, powering the networks that connect millions of people every day. Its journey is a powerful reminder that success is never permanent. Companies must continue to innovate, adapt, and evolve, or risk being left behind. Nokia's journey proves that success is never permanent. For years, it dominated the mobile phone industry and connected billions of people around the world. But when technology changed, Nokia failed to adapt quickly enough, allowing its competitors to take the lead. Even after losing its position, the company reinvented itself by focusing on the technology that powers modern communication networks. Its story reminds us that innovation is the key to long-term success, and no company is too big to fail. If you enjoyed this documentary, be sure to like this video, subscribe to UDBUT KISU, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next documentary. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.